All right, hi, how are you doing today?
Good.
Good. I'm Joey. I'm going to be your counselor today. What's your name?
Fisher.
Fisher. All right, nice to meet you. So, today we're going to be doing a personal wellness plan. This is an evidence based practice, which means this plan has been backed up and studied. Um, What would you describe as wellness? What would you describe that as?
Non-sporadic happiness is how I describe it.
Non-sporadic happiness. Okay. Um, what do you think makes someone well? What are some
Aware
things?
and caring for their mental health.
Caring for their mental health. Okay. And what was the first thing you said?
For what question?
You said caring for their health and
Just being aware of their mental health as well.
aware of their mental health. Okay. Okay. So with this is based off the indivisible self model of wellness, and for this model of wellness, it breaks wellness up into 5 things. So it gives a little different perspective on what wellness is, something that not everyone thinks about. We have the creative, coping, physical, essential, and social self, and I'm going to walk you through them. And then we're just going to go through each section and just talk about and brainstorm some ways that you can improve those areas of your life to achieve overall wellness. And part of wellness too is holistic, looking at many parts and areas of your life in order to achieve wellness. So we have first the creative self. This is a combination of attributes that make us unique socially and how we positively interpret the world. So examples that kind of might sound a little confusing. So how one thinks, how one expresses emotions, feeling in control. If you're not feeling in control, it can have effect on your creative self, how you view your work, and positive humor. So all of these things are important. I'll show you right here just for reference. All these things are important for the creative self. And then we look up back. This is how the plan looks. I'm going to fill it out for you, and then I'm going to send it to you at the end of the session. And you're just going to work on things. And I would recommend working maybe at one at a time. It can be overwhelming to work on multiple things at once. So just take each section step by step. So for the creative self, thinking, emotions, control, work, positive behavior. What would you like to have more or less of to improve your creative self? So examples like studying, maybe joining a book club, art, creativity, counseling, satisfying work, job security. What things do you need in your life to better these things? Your creative self.
What things am I want? So in order to improve my creative self, what things do I want more of?
So when it
What things do I want less of?
Or more of. So when it comes to thinking, do you want to improve your outlook on life or with emotions? Do you want to work with how you express your emotions? Do you want to feel more in control of your life? Work? Do you want to change that?
I think it probably is the most important thing for me at the moment. What I would just want more of simply would be satisfying work.
Satisfying work. Okay. What do you do now?
I work clean up for construction.
Clean up for construction. Is this kind of something you're doing just to get through school, kind of a part-time job?
Yeah.
Okay. Because I see on your paperwork you're in college. Anything, do you have any creative outlets you do?
I spend a lot of my time when I think trying to think of new things to do in terms of like drawing and different like projects I can do, like in terms of that kind of like artistic area.
And do you feel that you have been trying to, like, you don't really need help in that area? You've been working on it?
I think I'm satisfied where I am in that area.
You're satisfied? Yeah. And that's what this is all about, is just being satisfied with these areas in your life. So then we have the coping self. The coping self is the elements that regulate our responses to life events and provide a means for transcending their negative effects. And that's just a fancy way of saying like how we cope and how you get through tough times, kind of. Doesn't necessarily have to be tough times or stress. It could be that too. So when it comes to, I'm going to show you again, we have the elements that make up coping self are leisure, stress management, self-worth, and realistic beliefs. And so like leisure, yeah, you want to make sure that you have that time to relax. What do you do for leisure?
I run and play basketball.
Okay. Is there anything when you look at these that you see yourself wanting to work on?
Not necessarily, no.
Here, I'll give you more examples. Daily relaxation hobbies, setting limits, time and energy movement, avoiding bad habits. Any bad habits you're trying to kick?
Trying to make a more regulated sleep schedule.
Okay, yeah. Yes, because that sleep does have links to increasing stress. So we can put that for our action plan and working on that. And part of our action plan too is we're making specific goals. So what would you say? What's that specific number you want to hit for hours of sleep?
I'd say 9.
9. All right, we'll work on that. Working on that 9 hours of sleep. And then what time are you aiming to hit for bedtime?
10.
10, okay. All right. And so we're going to check in next week to see how you're doing on that. That's going to be some of our goals. And then we have the social self. That's friendship, love. I think it's well known that relationships are important, especially for wellness. Not everyone thinks that all the time, but what do you think you want to do to improve your social self? What can you do to improve your relationships with others?
What would be more like what's the thing I could do more of or less of, like in this area that's like a good example?
Okay, so we have parties, going to potlucks, networking, getting a mentor, joining study groups, or even like making sure you reach out to friends more, grandparents more.
I think I'm more than satisfied with my existing relationships, but I think I could get involved in, like clubs offered at the university I attend.
How about your relationships now, though, your current ones? Do you think you can work on some of them with others or improve?
Yeah, I mean, I guess I would say you generally can always improve in a relationship.
So, who's someone specific that you were thinking? Like, even like, I know a lot of college kids say grandparents because they don't see them as much, and I feel guilty about that. Or a friend that you haven't talked to in a while.
I guess just some, I could think of a few friends that I don't talk to that much.
So, yeah, and you can just write that down. And what would you want to do to reach out to them? Did you do social media?
I do social media.
Yeah. All right. So we can reach out to friends over social media. And then we have the essential self. This is kind of like known as the soul. Spirituality, gender identity, cultural identity, and self-care. So, and let me go down a little bit more to explain the essential self. Or like kind of our essential meaning and making processes in relation to life, self, and others. Is there anything in this area when you're looking at these that you could improve on?
Spiritual. I don't know if I say I can. I'm kind of like well intact with all those areas pretty well, I'd say.
Okay. So we can look at that one. I want to encourage you when I send this home with you just to look at it, and because these aren't always to just think of on the spot of what you want to improve on, but I'm just going through this with you to and just have you reflect on these parts because they are important. And then lastly, the physical exercise and nutrition. Do you think you could improve on this? I mean, usually.
I can definitely clean up my diet for sure.
Right. That one's always the hard one. We're all human, the physical self. A lot of people, especially Americans, yeah, we all struggle with nutrition. What do you think? Do you want to incorporate more veggies? Take out something like sugar, or
take out less like processed meals?
A lot less processed meals. All right. So how about we could set a goal for 1 day a week without any processed meals. 1 day, just
that sounds great.
Okay. All right, and then we'll put that one down. All right, we have this filled out. I will send this to you, and just you can add as much as you want to your plan, and just make sure that your goals are specific and you're coming back to this.
Okay.
All right. Thank you so much.